Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome to another long-awaited episode of the Two British Nerds, man. We have a lot to speak about this week.
Yeah, what's good, guys?
Yeah, man. We have comic news, San Diego news, movies, trailers, and of course a review of Marvel's Ant-Man, which we watched on the 17th. So we'll be reviewing that.
hmm Yeah,
Yes.
Ant-Man, we saw that.
Yeah, man. Good movie. Very, very funny. Very good movie. Um, I'll be looking forward to Ant-Man 2. That's if they do it. We'll see.
Yeah, I really hope they do it. I really hope they actually get around to making Ant-Man 2
Yep.
because the movie was really good. It was actually really, really good. Had fun watching it. Some had a Marvel flair to it.
Yeah, man. So it was a good movie. We will be reviewing that Ant-Man movie. After I'll give you guys just a quick review of my comics that I got last week. So this podcast was supposed to be done last week, but it couldn't be done. So we're doing it now. I literally only have three books. Literally three books to review. The first one is actually a book that I've been waiting to get for a very, very long time. And this is part of Secret Wars. And I will say that I actually did get I got the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. variant, which has all of them on the front cover. It has a Quinjet, it has Agent May, Skye, Coulson, Director Coulson, Fitz, Ward, and Simmons. So the book I'm talking about is Hail Hydra, written by Rick Remender, artist Roland Bolshe, color artist Chris Chukri, letter on production V.S. Clayton Cowles, and the cover artist Andrew Robinson. So I when I hear the word Hydra, I'm always like, since the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. series and the Captain America tie, I've just been hooked on to what Marvel have been doing with Hydra, in the comics and in the TV show. But this book basically is just set in a time where, in a sense, if people read the synopsis, I'm not spoiling it for everyone, but basically Hydra has somehow taken over, and from what there is no resistance. There's only one man, and that is basically the adopted son of Captain America, who basically his name is Ian, who was if you read the previous Captain America comics, that Cap actually rescued him, raised him up, lost him, and then he came back to help Cap out when Zola came back. So it's a very, very interesting book, like the way they've tied in the previous comic book of Captain America to this. It's well written because it's written by Rick Remender. It has a lot of it's a very, very dark book. The tone is dark. The dialogue is dark. The scenes are very dark as well. They're very bloody. It's basically just one man trying to realize basically what's happened. Where's the Avengers? Where's the X-Men? Where's the Resistance? So he's basically in a time of where basically Hydra has not even taken over the world. It's actually founded New York. So he's basically in the book struggling to find out what is going on and what is happening. He comes across a certain person that he comes across a character in the book. So that's Ian comes across a certain character in the book of basically that he tries to help out because he feels bad that he actually caused him to get caught. So the storyline kicks off from there, and it kind of gives you a deeper meaning or a deeper sense into what Hydra is actually doing with the people in New York. But it's very gruesome, man. Like, it's very dark. Everything about this book, I would say, is dark, and it kind of makes sense because you're dealing with you're dealing with Hydra. If you're a fan of Hydra, because I am, this is a book for you. And I will say what I liked about this book was, right, they've put a certain, I won't put it, there's a certain character, right, in the Marvel universe that's actually put into this book. And when I saw the character, I was like, whoa, okay, cool, because it's the first time this character has made an appearance in the comic book scene. So read the book and you'll find out who it literally is. You also find out in the book, basically, Ian's about basically trying to find out who he is, because previously because if you read the previous Captain America run, who was that by Rick Remender as well? I totally forgot.
Yeah, Recommender.
Yeah,
Cap.
that's it. And the art was by Romita Jr. And in that book, basically, when Cap finds Ian, he kind of molds him, basically makes him the man that he's supposed to be. But then you find out, because he's afflicted with what Zoe wanted him to be. He's like in limbo of what path to take. So in this book, basically, it's throughout the whole book, it's about him basically finding out the person, who he is, and who he wants to be, and who he is. And you find that in the book that he kind of finds he sees himself in the person that Hydra wanted him to be, if Hydra actually captured him. So it's like he's dealing, in a sense, in the book he actually comes across his own dark demons, and he's kind of like, okay, cool, so I'm kind of happy I didn't really take this path, but this is what would have happened to me if I went through the path. But it's well written, man. Like, it's a really, really good book, and I'm looking forward to getting issue 2 when it comes out. Throughout the whole book, there's nothing. It's just fighting galore. There's a lot of fight scenes, and then there's one scene. There's a very, very, very gory, bloody scene in the book that makes you think, okay, whoa, man. Because the way Rick Remender writes things, he always puts in a panel or dialogue that catches you off guard or surprises you. Just like, for example, when you read the first issue of Deadly Class, he knows how to put a spin on the book, and obviously he's a talented writer. So it's a very, very good book. I recommend it to everybody out there. If you are obviously reading Secret Wars, because there's loads of tie-ins. This is a tie-in that's I'd really recommend. So that's Hail Hydra. The second book is actually a book that I have been looking forward to, because it has one of my favorite artists doing the artwork. So this is, and of course, one of the top Marvel writers. So this is Guardians of Nowhere. It's by Brian Michael Bendis, artist Mike Delato, color artist Frank Martin, letterer Corey Petit. The cover for this book is by Mike Delato and Frank Martin, and variant covers is by Jenny Fersen, Rob Gallery, and the Scotty Young. All the variants, I only got the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. variant, which basically shows Agent May, what happened to her in Bahrain. Is it Bahrain where they had that episode about her?
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. So that's the cover of the book. You see the Arabic writing in the back. You see her holding a gun. It's a very, very cool cover. So I got that and a regular cover because I'm a big fan. This book has a very, very dark tone to it as well, and it's also, I forgot to say, it's actually a Secret Wars tie-in. So in this book, Guardians of Nowhere, there's one key character that's missing from, obviously, from the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's actually a very dark book, and the way it's written, again, it has a very, very dark tone to it as well. And it's basically the book, in a sense, it's it's to do with, in a sense, it's to do with Gamora and with Angela, and they have a Angela, for some reason, she's coming down looking for her. So she comes across Drax, and then there's a full blown battle between Drax and Angela, because in a sense she wants to know where Gamora is. He won't tell her, and they have a very, very gruesome fight. What I like about this book also is the way Mike Dialato has drawn Rocket Raccoon. He's drawn him like he was drawn when he first made his appearance. Of people that don't know, when you see Rocket Raccoon in the movie, that isn't how he was actually drawn. I mean, when you first see him, right, he looked more like Weapon X Wolverine. He was a beast. He was like a big, muscular beast that had no remorse, and he was on a killing frenzy. So this is why basically Marvel had to water him down when it came to Guardians of the Galaxy in the current comic book and in the movie. But I like the way he's drawn him. He looks more darker. He's got more darker tone. He's more serious. He's more of a serious guy. It's a very, very dark and a power punch book. What I mean by that, it has action from the beginning to the end. So, in a sense, it just makes you think. But when you read it, you're thinking, okay, cool. So, where's other characters in Guardians of the Galaxy, which I'm not going to mention, but there's certain characters that are not basically in basically this I would say this universe, or are they? But it's I just love it, man. Right, the way Bendis writes this, it's amazing. I like the dialogue between Angela and Drax, and basically how Gamora fits into it with her cosmic powers, because she's become very, very very, very powerful. But yeah, it's an amazing book, man. It's a very, very, very amazing book, and I recommend anyone that's obviously a fan of Michael Bendis and Guardians of the Galaxy to cop it. This book leaves you basically, when you finish it, you're like, what's going on? Because it doesn't tell you, it doesn't give you like a let's say a pre-introduction of what's happening with these characters. It just says blah blah blah, which I'm not going to say, and you see the dialogue between between Drax and Angela, and there's a full-blown beef. So you're wondering, why are they after, why is she after Gamora? I thought them two were buddies, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of goes right into it. So I'm assuming the next issue basically will go into why Angela wants to take out Doctor. So I was going to say Doctor Doom wants to take out and pretty much destroy. What do you call it? Gamora, and that is, I would say that is pretty much. Actually, wait, I got one more, which I forgot. One more book, and I'm done, people. Right, the next one is one of my favorite books from Image Comics, Invincible, issue 121. It says the best comic in the universe. Yeah, it actually is one of the best comic books you would actually read if you're a fan, like I've said previously, of Superman, Dragon Ball Z, and you want to know, for example, how Superman would have been on a more darker, realistic tone than pick up in Invincible. So it's written by Robert Kirkman, artist Ryan Otley, which is, I do love his artwork. The inker is Rathburn, colorist Gene Francis, and the letterer Ross Mufton, and the covers are by Ryan Otley and Gene Francos, and Invincible, created by Robert Kirkman and Coy Walker. So if you've been following Invincible or you haven't, Robot has actually taken over the planet, and what he's done is basically he's made it's nuts. He's actually made the world a better place. There's no job losses, there's no wars, there's no nothing. He's actually made peace, but in the process of that, what he did was he killed a lot of people and a lot of his friends in the process. So there was the resistance. One of them being obviously Mark Grayson, who's the main character of the book. Just basically just couldn't pretty much stop him because he'd won. So him and his wife left the planet, which is where the book is pretty much set. So this issue is basically set of where Robot has taken all of the remaining superheroes and locked them up. And what happens is basically in this book, it's just an onslaught of basically them trying to fight Robot, but they can't because there's people don't know what Robot does. He actually can make a robot suit, but he can make 100,000 of them within a split second. So he can multiply himself, and he can do this anytime, any place, any moment, any universe. And he has the capability of going through space. He has the ability of going to any part of the world with his portal that he has. So the funny things about this book, alliances actually start to change where certain characters are like, alright, cool, Robot's basically making peace, he's making this and that. So why am I fighting? Why are we fighting for? So in the book, you actually now have a fraction between the team. One side goes, to his side. One side basically just don't like him and want to basically just kill him. But this issue is very intense, very bloody. I mean, very, very bloody. If you read Invincible, it's just pure guts, killing, people's heads getting snapped, chests being broken, blood spewed out. It's a very, very intense, dark, very funny book. So this book basically, this whole issue is just them basically, escaping in a sense and trying to figure out what to do. And when they do that, a robot comes up to him and he goes, look, man, I'm not about basically fighting you guys and whatever. If you want to come with me, you can. But if you want to stay, you can. But if you guys do try to come at me again, then I will hunt you down and so forth. So that's what this whole issue is basically about. It's about alliances. It's about the fraction of alliances, friends turning on each other, and people not knowing what to do or how to stop him because he's a very, 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 very powerful guy, but he has a very, very big weakness as well. So I believe the next issue, which is issue the next issue, I can't remember, issue 100 or 125 is where basically they're going to reboot the book. But that's basically pretty much me for the comic book reviews. But like I said, for anyone into Superman, you have to get yourself or read just volume 1 of Invincible. And for all you Hydra fans, pick up Hell Hydra by Rick Remender and see what mysterious. You actually should get this Hell Hydra because you're going to see who I'm talking about. There's a certain character that makes his appearance in this.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting this. It's on my standing order.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm waiting for it to land. Definitely getting it.
Yeah. So with that being said, people, that's pretty much it. Shout out to all the people up there, Marvel, DC, and it's next week. Like I said, for you James Spader fans, the Blacklist issue 1 hits next week with 3 covers. There'll be the original cover, a photo variant. There'll be the Forbidden Planet variant, and then also, if you guys can get it in the UK or if you were in San Diego, there's the exclusive San Diego variant. So the Blacklist issue 1, I'll be getting it because it goes deep into. If you watch the Blacklist and you see how the villains are in there, it gives you a more of a backing story of how Reddington actually knew these characters. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to watch season 1 and 2. Season 2 is done now. Season 3 will kick off September the 29th. So that was season 3 will start, and right after that, there's a new TV show called The Player, and it stars one of the stars in there is actually Wesley Snipes. So check that out. Check out the trailer for it. It's available on YouTube now. It's called The Player. So right. With that being said, let's go into San Diego, and obviously the biggest things that kicked off in San Diego was, of course, the trailer. So let's start off with, for me, a very slow one, so we can notch it up, and that is X-Men: Age of Apocalypse.
You mean Adam Ooze?
You know what? Yeah, it's funny that people been going nuts. Even me, I kind of criticized it and said he looks nothing like Apocalypse. But then when I was speaking to a friend of mine at work, and he was like, remember, he's got three forms, and he said, remember, in the trailer you actually do see the back of Apocalypse as he's supposed to be. So with me, I'm waiting for it because I want to see his final form, what he looks like in the movie, or when they push out a trailer with Apocalypse. But that Apocalypse they got there, regardless, he just looks just weak. Regardless of the form that he has. For me, he looks a bit weak. He looks like, Ivan Ooze.
Remember I was telling you, man, I was like, look, I was the first person to be screaming about the Sentinels, how they look like Dyson Hoover. I was like, oh, this is going to be rubbish, man. It's going to be rubbish. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and just see how this movie's going to play out. I mean, Days of Future Past surprised me. The Dyson Hoover Sentinels was like one of my favorite parts of the movie. So
yeah. Well, for me, like, the trailer was not even about Apocalypse, right? But for me, the trailer it was like Future Past trailer. It was very, very like kind of boring and slightly depressing. It didn't have any life to it. The only thing I like about the X-Men movies, for me, what I like to watch them, is I just like to see Magneto in there. But as a trailer, it was very, very, very slow. I think the best part of the trailer for me was when you saw the back of Apocalypse. I was like, yeah, he looks like Apocalypse. But saying that, man, like I said, it's a trailer. So
yeah, it's a trailer. I mean, with the Apocalypse deal, I mean, they got some brilliant actors for this film. Bryan Singer, he's proven to have a really good handle on these X-Men movies. Also, Oscar Isaac is a brilliant actor. I think he'll do a fantastic job as Apocalypse. He might not look, like the comic counterpart, but all the characters don't even look like they're comic. They're characters. So, just see this X-Men universe as something separate, and this is their own little pocket, and they're doing a good job with it.
Yeah, I guess so. For me, man, I've never really been a fan of the X-Men. I've never liked any of the X-Men movies. Apart from, I'll say Days of Future Past, it was okay. The only thing I could say about Future Past, it was too slow. Like, it was the way the fight scenes were choreographed, they weren't really good. And there was a lot of talking involved, but it was actually, like I said, for me, the X-Men movie, Days of Future Past, was better than the last 2 Spider-Man movies, because they were terrible.
But it looks like, seeing from the trailer, it looks like Apocalypse is going to have his horsemen in it. And, Magneto's going to be part of it. Michael Fassbender's back as Magneto again. It looks like it's going to be something
Different.
Quicksilver's back as well. He had arguably the best scene in the movie. I don't know, man. Like, after watching, I hated the old X-Men films.
Yeah.
I hated them. They only started getting good for me when First Class came out. When X-Men, have you seen that yet?
Yeah, I think I have. That's what I have.
Did you like it? What did you think of it?
It was nice, man. It kind of stayed true in a sense to the comic books.
Yeah, X-Men First Class was brilliant. From then, that's when these sort of X-Men movies sort of kicked off for me. Because the Wolverine, second Wolverine movie, I really loved that movie. As well as I love Days of Future Past. And, from X-Men First Class, that's when I feel like these X-Men movies are going in the right direction. And I can't wait for Deadpool. And
True.
also Gambit. Is Gambit going to be in this one?
I think so.
Yeah, because I think he is. He's going to have a little cameo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense because he's getting his own movie.
Imagine if Deadpool's in this as well.
Nah. You know what? I don't want any of that. Leave Deadpool on his own because it looks good. I'm gonna go. We're gonna talk about Deadpool and then when it comes, but leave him out of it. Leave him out of the X-Men single universe, please.
Well, he kind of is though. He is kind of like an X-Men character. If you think about it.
Away. I guess so. I want him to stay out from Singer's hands, man. Just leave him alone. Doesn't need to be an X-Men. He's cool as it is.
Yeah, I know the feeling, man. Well, let's talk about the Deadpool trailer.
No, let's leave it to last, man. Let's go through. Actually, all right, cool. I'm not really fast. Right, Deadpool. Right, for me as a character, you can't get him wrong because he's a nutty character. The only way you can get Deadpool wrong is by getting the wrong person to play him. And for me, they got the the man to play him, which is Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is that type of guy. If I look at him, I'll laugh at him because he's just hilarious. But his personality and the energy he gives to the character is amazing. So they did get the right character to play him. Overall trailer was amazing, man. You saw the comedy, the humor, the murk of a mouth. You also saw the blood because when I actually watched because I watched the Deadpool panel. So Fox said to them I can't remember the guy that actually directing or producing Deadpool, but they spoke to Ryan Reynolds as well, and they said you guys can do anything in the movie. They had no bars, so they could do anything. But when it came to the rating, Fox was like, okay, it's PG. No, now it's R-rated. Now it's PG. Now it's R-rated. So they came up to them again, to Reynolds, and they were like, all right, cool, it's R-rated. So with the movie, they have full control of the movie. So this is why it makes the movie so epic, because you can't have a Deadpool movie and it being PG and and whatnot. But overall, everything about the trailer was nice, man. What I liked about the trailer was it was like I was reading a comic book, which in a sense is like when I was watching the trailer, it felt like I was watching a Marvel trailer where they implemented that type of energy into, the energy into the movie from the comic books. So this is why I liked, I warm more to Marvel movies because when I watched, like for example, Guardians of the Galaxy, it was like I was currently just reading an issue of Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, man, Deadpool I love the trailer, and the official trailer will be out in the next 3 weeks. Probably be HD and so forth, and I reckon it's gonna hit a few. It's gonna hit a few million on the YouTube page. So stay out, look out for that. What else I like about the trailer? Yeah, I like the cameo from from Colossus, and I was like, whoa, because when I saw him, I was like he looked more meaner, but he looked a bit more younger and just more powerful than Colossus that you've seen in the previous X-Men movies. So it was pretty cool. For me, I can't say anything that I saw wrong with Deadpool. Got the right character. The suit looks on point. The gun's on point. He's got the sword. He's got the personality. It is dark. It has its dark bits and it has its light bits. But overall, I think next year, that regarding the movies, taking not speaking about Marvel, or DC, I would say that's actually one of the most anticipated movies I'm actually looking forward to watching. And Doctor Strange, I'm a big Doctor Strange fan, but overall, because this movie's been in the works for what now? I think like 10 years. It's been on and off. So I'm looking forward to it. And Reynolds did say he will not do any more superhero movies, but he will do a Deadpool 2 if the fans continue, obviously, to love it and support it. So for me, that's Deadpool. And speaking of Deadpool, real quick, there will be a new Marvel comic coming with the artist who's doing the art and the interior or the writing, but you're gonna have Deadpool and Spider-Man teaming up. So yeah, that's for me, Deadpool.
Yeah, don't miss out on the hip hop variant.
Oh yes. So Marvel are doing your hip hop variants. You can actually Google them right now, or go to Newsarama or any of the comic book web sites, and you can actually view them. I think for me, I'll be getting the Doctor Strange, Deadpool. There was another one I totally forgot, but those two were my two favorites. Hopefully they'll be cover price, which means they'll be like £2 each. So, yeah, man. For me, like I said, man, Deadpool, man. When I saw the footage, I was like, when I saw him shooting someone and the bullet going through their heads and brain splattering, I was like, yeah, this is Deadpool, man. Like,
Yeah, I'm really glad that they classed it as R-rated, because they always say that it's back and forth. They weren't too sure how they're going to do it, and it just looks like this movie is just a perfect example of the fans, fans pushing for something, that, because Ryan Reynolds was saying that when that leak came out, everyone knows they done it on purpose, but when that leak came out, everyone was like, you got to make this film. And
yeah,
literally, once in a while we get these little wins where we get little fan wins, and you know what I'm saying? Because usually R-rated superhero films, they don't really make a lot of money, so they tend not to go for it. But
yeah.
hopefully, it feels like this movie is made for us. So I'm really, really excited about this movie. I think that's why there's so much buzz for Deadpool.
Yeah, no, it's true, man. If it wasn't like Reynolds was saying, like Ryan Reynolds was saying, if it wasn't for the fans, the movie wouldn't be in production. Remember, there was a point of where the movie got dropped for how long? It got dropped for ages, and it just sat there in the wind, and then all of a sudden they said, "All right, cool, man, it's back." So can't go wrong with Deadpool, man. You cannot go wrong with Deadpool. So that is
Definitely.
Deadpool.
You're going to talk about Fantastic Four,
Oh,
since we're still
man.
talking about that's Sony.
Boo, Sony.
No, that's Fox. We're still in the Fox camp, so let's talk about Fantastic Four.
Right. So I think Fantastic Four is a movie that 99.9% people on the planet are saying it's probably one of the worst. It's just a catastrophe. It's a movie that should never be put in. Never, ever have been put into production. But I would say the reason they had to do it and to do the movie like this was because what I heard was because Fox owned the rights to Fantastic Four, but if they don't produce a movie within like 3 years, the rights go back to Marvel. From what I was hearing, so they just basically just pushed anything together to make a movie. Like the trailer for me, like I said, watching like a Fox movie or let's say for example Fantastic Four. This comic book has nothing to do with the comics. Like this movie, sorry, has nothing to do with the comic books. So it's a movie where it's in its own zone, which is why the fans were like, well, this is not on. The trailer looks okay, but watching it, it's people saying, am I gonna watch this? It just for me, it's gonna be a movie that's gonna be sat in limbo. I would say, because it's not even in the middle. It's just lingering there. So, and obviously we'll watch it to review it, and because I just want to have popcorn and nachos. But with me, like I said, I've never been. I like Marvel. I'm a big Marvel fan, but I've never been a fan of Fantastic Four. The only thing I like about Fantastic Four is Doctor Doom, because he's just an epic character. But I'll watch it. I think it'll be an okay movie, but because I'm watching it, I'm not like when I go to watch it, I'm not watching it with a Marvel eye. I'm actually watching it as it's a movie in its own uh zone. But the trailer was okay. The special effects look okay. Some of the fight scenes look okay, but then the cast members don't really look like the Fantastic Four. So in a sense, I think the casting wasn't done. I think the casting was totally wrong. But from what I can see, they've got a younger cast, which means they're looking to basically maybe put them maybe into, do more movies with that cast, like they've obviously done, like Marvel have done with Sony, and Marvel have done Spider-Man. Casted the young Spider-Man, which means a younger kid, more movies. But overall, it's a movie. It's a movie. I'm like, well, I'm not really fussed about because I'm not a Fantastic Four. But again, Fantastic Four fan. But again, I will be watching it. But from like I said, everyone's saying it's going to be one of the worst movies ever to be put into has ever been made. So we'll see what happens when the movie hits. I believe it's this year, I think.
Yeah, it's coming out this year. I mean, a lot of people don't. You never know. You never know. To be honest, I don't really care too much about it.
Me too.
I mean, I'm still gonna watch it because like with you, I'm the opposite. I'm a huge fan of the Fantastic Four. I've always loved them. I love the cartoon. I read some of their comics, and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be too bothered about the casting. I mean, and this is probably gonna sound weird, but I really liked the first Fantastic Four film. The second one was terrible, but I like the first one anyway with Doctor Doom.
Silver Surfer.
Yeah, Silver Surfer one was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Yeah, the only thing that's sort of upsetting me about this new Fantastic Four film is Doctor Doom. I mean, you're a huge fan of Doctor Doom. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Doctor Doom as well. But how there's other villains apart from Doctor Doom. Just feels like another.
It's a reboot.
It feels like it is. Yeah, it's definitely a reboot, but it feels like a reboot. So, I think that's the problem with it. I think that's what everyone doesn't like about it. But other than that, I mean, it looks amazing in terms of the graphics and visual effects, and the actors. The actors, like, very good actors. Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm, Kate Mara as Susan. These actors, they're very good. They've pulled up very great performances from different films, and I just gotta leave it to the actors and see how it goes. I still don't know who's playing Doctor Doom. I haven't really done a lot of research on it, just strictly because it's upsetting me that Doctor Doom is a villain again in another Fantastic Four film.
Well, the thing is, I never really, even though he's a villain, I've never really seen him as a villain. He just wants to do his own thing, but I've never seen him as a bad guy in the Marvel universe. But obviously, he's one of the main villains. I do like him, man. He's for me, he just reminds me of Magneto. Okay.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, man.
You have to be really specific with what his character. They really do him justice. Even though I like the film, it was just good enough.
Yeah.
Because Doctor Doom is like you said, he's not really a villain. He's a really complex.
But that's the thing. You see, with Fantastic Four, they don't really have any good villains in general. I don't think. They don't really hardly any villains.
Yeah, they got a lot, man. They got a lot. It's just you just gotta get a good handle on it. And I think the only people that can do that is Marvel Studios.
Basically, people, right? If you go to see an X-Men movie or a Fox movie and you're not happy with it, just remember, if you don't see that Marvel Studios at the beginning, of the movie, before the movie kicks off, then this is why you be disappointed. If you see the Fox logo or the Sony logo and then you see the Marvel, logo, you know that you're not in for a Marvel movie. So for me, I've always said if it's not a Marvel movie, it has its Marvel Studios. Or unless you've got people that are obviously keeping it true to the comics. Like for example, when Sam Raimi did the first three Spider-Man movies, regardless of what he put in, he still kept it true to the characters, which is what I think everyone wants to see, regardless of who's doing it. They just want to see, Batman being Batman, Superman being Superman, Iron Man being Iron Man, Fantastic Four being a Fantastic Four, or whatever. So I think for me, that's what the main gist is of doing these type of movies. It's only when the writers get a bit brave and they're like, all right, cool, I'm going to outdo the comic book writers and put this in, and the fans are like, well, no, you can't do that. So that's basically pretty much it. Right. The next one, which I actually watched the trailer, but when I watched it again, I thought, yeah, this looks serious for me, and that's Suicide Squad. So since you're a big about Suicide Squad, you're more into DC than me, you can kick this one off.
Yeah, Suicide Squad trailer. I think this one I'm really, really excited about. I'm probably the most excited about before they release the trailers because, every week I've talked about this, and every week there's always been some sort of release or pictures or set photos of the Suicide Squad movie. So starting off, of course, Harley Quinn. I'm going to talk about Harley Quinn. I'm a huge fan of Harley. This is her first debut in live action. I think live action in everything. Even though her character debut was a cartoon in the animated Batman series, we all know that. This is the live action version of. She's going to be portrayed. I think he's going to play what's her name, Margot Robbie. I'm sure you've all seen it on The Wolf of Wall Street. She looks like they've picked the right character, and they as well. I don't even know if he's a fan of comics, but this movie does feel like a comic book film, even though it's like even though he's not traditionally a comic book director. He's more of an action director in military and whatnot.
It's a good.
Carry on there.
Say that again. You're cutting up.
It's a bit blurry at the moment. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go on. It's a bit blurry. Well, it was a bit distorted.
Yeah, the signal's cutting out, but with the Suicide Squad, we did see the Joker. Now, I know a lot of people were upset about the Joker reveal. You know that picture that came out where they had a lot of tattoos. A lot of people were upset about that. I thought that was amazing. I think we were talking about that somewhere. When they released the picture of the Joker, and a lot of people were upset about it. And we were like, yeah, I think we actually enjoyed it. And I just thought that with the tattoos, it's kind of a relevant villain in today's society, but still keeping to the spirit of the Joker. So he feels like a relevant character to me, personally, anyway.
Yeah.
Another thing that was a bit weird was Enchantress. They did throw in a bit of magic in the trailer. I know a lot of people were a bit skeptical on that, saying, why is she part of the Suicide Squad? Suicide Squad has gone through heaps and heaps of characters. Now, we know that Marvel's got more characters than DC, but DC has got a lot of characters, but the Suicide Squad is responsible for getting rid of all these D or E-list characters, or villains, or etc. So, if you see some characters in the Suicide Squad movie that you're like, who the hell is that? Who is that? Yeah. They are actually characters from the comics. And Margot Robbie, going back to Harley as Margot Robbie as Harley, she considers she's doing a bit of gymnastics, and it's true. Like Harley Quinn was a sort of ballerina or gymnastic, so she's known for all that. She's also her backstory. She's also a doctor, and I think we saw a little snippet of her as a doctor in the thing. And a lot of people are speculating that the Joker was the one that was talking to her when he said that, I'm not going to kill you, I'm just going to hurt you really badly. A lot of people were speculating that that's him talking to Harley. So, I guess the trailer does look as if it's got a lot of heart to it because they keep throwing justice in there, where they're trying to show that these characters are sort of they're not necessarily they are bad traditionally evil, but they got some good elements to it, and a lot of teamwork. So and the Joker, they're trying to show that the Joker, yeah, he's just evil completely.
As
I guess
usual.
as usual. And we got a little snippet of Batman. People already knew that, but
That was funny. Seeing that was
yeah,
just funny.
people already knew that from the set photos that Batman might make an appearance or will make an appearance. And the trailer just said, yeah, he's definitely going to be in it. So wicked, really, really excited about that. Yeah, Suicide Squad movie, man. I can't wait for this one.
Yeah. For me, man, because I'm not versed about Suicide Squad, but I liked it. I liked the trailer. After I watched it the first time, I was like, I watched it again. I was like, yeah, this is actually a good, decent trailer, man. You've got, in a sense, it's like you got like the villainous Justice League trying to do justice, but they're doing injustice. So it's a pretty nice concept. So it was very good, man. I just liked it. It was dark, had a bit of humor in there. It was actually a very dark tone, but I can accept this because obviously, they are dark characters, they are villains. So to have a dark tone for this movie, DC, are on point, with that.
Yeah, it looks like this movie is the only kept to the comics movie from DC.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I do love Harley Quinn. It's, seeing Will Smith in there was funny. It's just like seeing him like he just came out of the Wild Wild West. So
I'll tell you what, guys. I'll give you a recommendation. If you guys want a sort of a good brief introduction of the Suicide Squad, you should watch Arkham, the Suicide Squad animated movie from DC. The Arkham, I guess I forget what it's called. I think it's Arkham Knight. The DC animated movie of this. Batman's in it, Joker's in it,
go on,
Deadpool's in it.
so repeat that again. You cut up.
Yeah, the animated movie from DC, which features the Suicide Squad. Batman's in it, Joker's in it, Harley's in it, Deadshot's in it. So, if you guys want a good introduction of the Suicide Squad, a really good animated movie from DC, then watch that.
Yeah, man, and check out the trailer again. It's a very, very good trailer. I'm looking forward to it. I just want to see what happens, man. It reminds me of just like, Dark Justice League or Dark Avengers. It's just a very, very dark tone. So I'll have to see how these characters actually intertwine with each other and how their personalities kind of intertwine with each other. I like the Joker at the end. A lot of people hated him probably as he was casted, and when I saw him, I was like, huh, really? But then when I see him, obviously now, in the trailer, I was like, yeah, it looks good, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. So people, don't be judging, man. Watch the movie first, and then obviously you can have your own takes on it. But it's nice to see that DC are taking chances, which is pretty cool. So I'd like to see DC do more of this down the line. But overall, man, I love the trailer. I think it was cool, man. I think for me, I have all the DC announcements the movies are out next year. For me, you have one of the biggest, obviously, movies, Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice. But for me, for DC, it has to be Suicide Squad. And for me, I can say I'll bet that Suicide Squad will take more. I reckon it probably make more money for some reason than Batman vs Superman, because it's new. It's like when Marvel first did their Avengers, it was a buzz about it. So this is why obviously Avengers 1 was much better than, a little bit better, but it did more better than Avengers 2 because it was just the first one that came out. So it's nice to see. I reckon it'll take a lot of money when that movie comes out, and it'll be very, very good for DC. Right, we're forgetting we got one more trailer, or we done all the trailers?
No, we're still going to talk about Batman v Superman.
Oh yeah, that's it. All right. Since you're a big Superman fan, You can have
Yeah,
this one.
man.
This you can have this. You can go first.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I think it's been a while since been waiting for some news on Batman v Superman. They've been hyping it a lot since last year, and of course, it would have been too early for them to release any footage or anything um, in San Diego last year. So I mean, last year all we got was just a good wave from Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, and Ben Affleck. But this time we got to see it, and
Dude,
we got to see Batman, we got to see Wonder Woman, we got to see Superman, and we also get to see what happened to Metropolis when Superman was fighting Zod, and we were shown that I know a lot of people caught the little Easter egg of Wayne Industries. I can't remember if I saw that in Batman of Steel. I think I saw the oil tank
that was you know what?
in Man of Steel, but this one
It
they
was there.
definitely showed that Batman was in the vicinity, or Bruce Wayne was in the vicinity of the battle in Metropolis. I don't know what he was doing there, but I guess he was there.
Um,
Uh,
that was funny because one guy reviewed it, right? And he said the reason that Batman is angry with Superman is because he blew up his industries. I was laughing, man. Because you
yeah,
see him holding
definitely.
the girl, and you see the Wayne Industry logo right there. I started laughing.
You know, I was asking you the other day if you saw the fan edit of Man of Steel in this trailer. Basically, they showed that when Zod was sort of getting his eye vision, eye laser powers, and he was trying to figure it out, and it was sort of burning through the building. They actually showed what Bruce Wayne was look. They actually showed Bruce Wayne looking at that. The edit is really, really good. It's really, really good how they cut it to show that it was part of the trailer. Also, we get to see Lex Luthor. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Jesse Eisenberg is a fantastic actor. You get to see him as Lex Luthor. Well, we didn't see him bald, but we saw him with hair. So they might take the Christopher Reeves version where he's wearing a wig. That'd be interesting. And man, the visuals of this movie is just out of this world. Zack Snyder is known for making visually appealing films where he just pushes the boundaries of how this movie is going to look. This slow motion, of course. I don't know. This, like watching the trailer, it feels like this movie is going to be long. Do you get that feeling? Like it's going to be like a really, really long film,
It
like
is,
two
man.
two 2 hours or 3 hours film.
It's gonna be a long. Oh, I just hope there's no
So,
origin story. That's all.
nah, it doesn't look like an origin. It looks like a fallout of Man of Steel, and it also looks like another a setting up piece for what's going to happen to in this world of superheroes, of
Yeah.
this new birth of superheroes. Um, we saw Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, sort of fighting, which looked amazing. Oh, man, I can't wait for this film. I'm a bit worried that a lot of people is gonna feel sort of exhausted because how long this film is gonna be. After that fight against Superman and Zod, people just walked out. It's like, oh, it was just extra long. They were just fighting, going on and on and on. So I don't want it to be like that in this film. I want it to be just long enough. Have all the characters there, have everyone do what they gotta do, and be a setup of what's gonna happen in the next going forward to keep people interested. Also address what happened in Man of Steel. That's what they need to do. If they do that, then the movie will make money. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, they need to do it. They can't just jump in there. They need to give you how Man of Steel 1 links to Man of Steel, obviously, 2. What Bruce Wayne saw and why he's always so damn angry. Why is he angry at Superman? Yeah, if they do that, then it'll be cool because people will understand, and yeah, they will make money because they're connecting the pieces together. For me, the visuals I can't even say enough. The visuals were excellent, right? It says I'm just still not sold about the storyline. That's all. What's the synopsis of the storyline and what's happening and how it happens. But overall, I think for me, Batman looked amazing, man. Ben Affleck is Batman, looks like him. It looks really serious, man. Like how Bruce Wayne would look. For me, I think a lot of people obviously have said that. You know, he's gonna spoil the movie. He's not gonna be doing it correctly. I think he'll fit really well, and does fit very well in Batman. The only thing that's confusing me is you know, I forgot his name now. Right, I can't believe it's a totally gone out my. That's it, Alfred. Looks, he's not old enough, you know. So what's happened there in the sense? That's the only thing I was like, "Ruh." If that's Alfred, then why does he look young? And then Bruce looks kind of older or old. But that's one thing I think they'll have to address in the movie. But overall, you know, I'm just looking forward to see just what they do in the movie, man. To see them two on stage fighting somebody, fighting each other. Love to see how Wonder Woman fits in. Also, I'd like to see Thingy's cameo in there because they haven't revealed it yet in this trailer. Aquaman. But overall, it was a very well. The visuals were done. The visuals were basically very well. The only thing I kind of look when I was watching the trailer, it looked like they just got pieces of different movies and sliced it together. So there wasn't really any. I guess any synchronicity in a way. But overall, man, it was a very very good trailer. And they show they show you Zod. So are they going to bring him back to life? Is he dead? Isn't he dead? What are they going to do? So I guess in this movie, what it's going to do is it's going to answer a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions that are going to be asked or have been asked by the fans that need to be addressed, like regarding Alfred. He looks younger. Is Zod alive or not? You have Metropolis, and then you have Gotham. But I believe in the when I was watching the panel in San Diego, and Snyder said that they've made them near to each other, so that they're like sister cities. So this is why they can go from one place to the other. But overall, I'm looking forward to seeing it because it's going to be it is a blockbuster movie. Regardless if you're a Batman, if you're a DC or Marvel fan, you're still going to be watching this movie. So I will be watching this movie. It was very dark, had a dark tone as usual. Again, what they got to do is add more color to Superman's suit, and it'll be cool. Batman looks dark. I like the bit where you see, is it the spray paint? Is it on Robin's suit or Batman's suit? So it kind of gives you a taste. Kind of gives you a hint of where is the Joker going to be in there. There was a hint of the Joker in that movie again. But yeah, overall, man, it was a good trailer. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So that is Batman versus Superman. Dawn of Justice. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Batman, Superman, Dawn of
I had
Justice.
to rush, man. My Mac's about to switch off. Woo! Hello.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, I quickly put it on charge, man. I was on 1%. I didn't even realise. It would have switched off quickly. Alright, that's sorted. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. And of course, there's one more trailer. There's one more trailer.
What's that trailer?
And that's one I told you to watch, man. The Evil Dead trailer.
So we're switching to TV shows now. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I think that's the only TV show trailer that I actually pretty much saw.
Like there was the Heroes one as well.
Ah,
yeah.
see, I haven't seen the Heroes one.
Yeah, go on. What's the?
Have you seen it though? The Evil Dead trailer.
Yeah, I saw it.
Well, again, if you guys don't know, if you're familiar with the Evil Dead, if you're not, then I suggest you watch the first two Evil Dead movies. With you have Sam Raimi directing it, and then you also have Bruce Campbell as Ash. So it's basically a synopsis of the movies. Was Ash goes to his girlfriend to a cabin where just to chill out with his girlfriend. He finds the book, which is called the can never pronounce it, Necronomicon, which is the Book of the Dead. So the verses are recited. He plays basically a tape recorder. He plays it in the cabin, and then what happens is he opens the book, and the tape recorder is playing, and the words get recited, and then the dead come out. Basically, the evil comes out, and it comes after him. And he goes through a lot in the movie where he tries to basically stop this. It's pure. When I mean it's pure evil, it's just pure evil. And in the process, he loses his hand, replaces it for a chainsaw, gets sucked in at the end of the movie to the Army of Darkness, where he has to banish the evil in its timeline. Comes back to Earth, and he's back to himself. He's back to this world again. But what I liked about the Evil Dead movies is it had a lot of gore, blood, horror. You know, when I mean horror, it's actually not what you see now in Saw, where you see gore and guts and no horror. You know, in the Evil Dead, you've got the music that goes with it. You have the scenarios. You have the energy around it. It's basically it's nice, man. It has horror, comedy. Sometimes it's serious. Sometimes it's really, really, really dark. Sometimes it's really funny. But Ash vs. the Evil Dead, the TV show, basically continues from the last movie. So it's set 30 years after, where Ash is just pretty much just doing his own thing, being a loser, trying to get chicks, just twat basically. Because in his character, he's like a blowhard. He's an arsehole. He just doesn't care. He's very funny. He's hilarious. He's a very hilarious character. He's basically as a character, he has the most flaws than any character in the whole planet. So it's funny. So in a sense, what basically, like I said, this TV show is about is the evil gets awakened. He now has to do what he did 30 years ago and basically put it to rest. But obviously now he's older. He's got to make more friends. He's got to make actually friends, because in the last 30 years he's been on his own. No relationships, no friends. So he's got to adjust to life. So him talking to characters, him talking to people, friends, loved ones, and so forth. It's a different take on the character, and he's older, so he isn't as quick as he was like 30 years ago. But it's a very, very, if you love horror, violence, and just fun, you love it. And the good thing about this TV show is because I was watching the panel, it's coming on a network called Stars, and that Stars said to them, there is no age limit, there is no bar, there is no censorship. So in this series, what you got in the movies, you're gonna get in the TV show. So it's pretty much uncut. There's swearing, sex, violence, horror, guts. There is no bars. It's actually just pretty much just uncut. So they can get away with as much they want to do. The only thing they said was basically, as long as the fans keep on supporting it, there'll be a season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so forth. But I've been looking forward to this because I love the Evil Dead series. Because I'm not into horror movies like the horror movies they put out now, but horror movies like, for example, like The Evil Dead or like Lost Boys, that have that touch of comedy, violence, and humor, and so forth, is what I like. But it's got Bruce Campbell, who's epic for me because I love him as a character, and in general he's a funny person. And you also have Lucy Lawless, who played Xena, who's also an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., who's now in the show as well. So she's in there, and she actually did tweet. What was it? Today there was an article that said that she actually wanted to come back and play Xena. If she comes back, I'll definitely watch it because I used to watch that show. It's pretty cool. But watch the trailer, man. It's you've heard me saying it, but watch the trailer. The trailer's about 3 minutes long, but it's humorous, it's funny, and it's just like Bruce, like Ash would say, is groovy, boy. So yeah, man, that is for me the Evil that is the Evil Dead, and you'd have to watch it when you know what the Evil Dead really means, because it's as pure evil, man. It's just dirty, stinking, raw evil, and it's just amazing that they're basically coming back. So you got the same cast, same directors from the first Evil Dead movies 30 years ago, actually coming back to do the TV show. So you are gonna get basically what you paid for. And also, I know Sam Raimi addressed this. They're looking to basically take the heroine from the last Evil Dead remake and Ash, and put them into maybe a team up movie, or give Ash also his own solo movie that comes after this Evil Dead, that continues from this Evil Dead. Ash versus Evil Dead series. So I'm looking forward to it because, I love the Evil Dead, yeah. But that's me, man. Also, like I said, watch the trailer. You can follow Bruce Campbell on, I believe it's Groovy Bruce, or at Groovy Bruce, or at Groovy. Also, Twitter is, check out the TV show's website, which is on the Twitter at Ash versus Evil Dead, and then you be basically subscribe. As long as you hit that subscribe button, you know what's going on left, right, and center with this show. But yeah, man, I'm talking about it so much because for me, if you like The Walking Dead and you want to see something that's as uncut and that's as raw, then you'll like it. It's gonna be, I reckon, it's gonna give The Walking Dead a run for its money, because it's gonna have more in it. I would say this. I would say it's gonna be like, if it was to be a certificate, it would be at least, I think, maybe 15 or 18. So yeah, that's the Evil Dead for me.
Wicked. I saw the trailer, man. It looked really gory.
Yeah. It's and it's out. So it's out on Halloween. This year, Halloween, just to let you guys know.
Okay. Well, let me just quickly talk about Heroes, since I guess I was watching the show. I don't know. You weren't watching it, were you?
No. I never got into it. But when I was going to watch it, everyone said to me, "Don't. It's rubbish." Watch season 1.
Watch season 1, season 2, and just forget it. But yeah, the trailer looks really cool, actually. If people are listening, if you're fans not fans, but if you've seen all the whole Heroes, you'd know that the trailer sort of hints at the possible future of what was going to happen in the hero universe. They hinted that in season 1. So heroes are being hunted down. People are searching for the people with this, who have mutated, so to speak. There's a lot of teens as well who are sort of experiencing powers coming out. Also, there's returns of I guess, characters. You can see that Dr. Suresh is hunted, and Petrelli, what's her name? Martha Petrelli, she's back as well. Also, Hero's back as well. Hero's a fan favorite, and he looks as if like he's developed majorly into like a proper hero. Exactly how it looked in the future, and Dr. Bennett as well. Bennett's back. I don't know what he's up to. He looks like he's up to keep himself relevant, so to speak. People are out looking for heroes because the world has changed, and they're saying that we're the heroes. I don't know who's like the major evil in this universe. It might just be corporations, I guess. But the Haitian's back. The Haitian and Bennett, they're back working together, and people look as if they're scared to embrace their new powers. And with Bennett obviously, he's skilled at looking for heroes, or looking for people who's got powers. I guess he's out there trying to protect them, or trying to teach them how to control their powers and everything. So he's on a worldwide road trip. I forgot it. Yeah, that's it. Micah. Micah's back. Everyone knows Micah. He's back. He's older as well. He was a great character, and he looks quite different. But I reckon his power was one of the best. Do you know Forge from X-Men?
Yeah, it rings a bell, man.
Yeah, Forge from X-Men. He has the power. His mutant power is that he can talk to machines. Or he's
Uh-huh.
so that's the same power as Micah in the Heroes TV show. And it looks like there's a world-ending event, like every season of Heroes. Of course, keeping to the tradition of the show. So it looks like something huge has come to the world. So all the heroes is to come together again to save the world. So all in all, the end of the series sort of left a bad taste in people's mouths. But this trailer seems to be really cool. Where I would definitely give it a go. Give it a go. But if you want to watch, if you want to catch up on what's going on with Heroes, I suggest watching season 1 and season 2, and then forget it,
Wow.
and then come back with Heroes Reborn.
Yeah, I think I might have to do that myself.
But it might be sort of like
Yeah,
new, what's that word? New reader friendly, new reader or
it's gonna be a
new
reboot.
viewers friendly. So you can watch this first episode, just give it a go, see how it goes.
No, it's true. I might just do that myself. Or just watch season 1 when it comes out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I was hearing good reviews about season 1. But yeah, definitely, I think I will give it a go. I'm looking forward to also next year. X Files as well. Mulder and Scully are back. So I always wanted to. My question was in the X Files, man. The Smoky Man? Is he actually alive, or did he actually die in that hut when he got bombed to death? Hopefully, I will find out in next year's X Files. But yeah, back to Heroes. I'll be definitely watching it.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a little trailer that just came out today actually for X-Files.
oh, was it?
Yeah, yeah, I think I sent it to you.
I'm gonna watch it after this podcast because I love X Files. I love it. It's one of my favorite shows. I never did watch all the seasons consistently, but I just when I caught it, I was like, yeah, I loved it as a show.
Yeah, just a little teaser, but yeah, it's good. X-Files is back.
Yes, it is, and I'll be definitely watching that with the rest of the 10,000 TV shows I'm trying to watch at once.
Yeah, back to DC again. I just want to talk briefly on what's going on with the TV CW DC universe. Oliver Queen is back, and he's back as Green Arrow. He's got a new costume. A lot of people were screaming that we need a new Arrow costume. Well, there's no more Arrow costume. He was outed in the last season as Oliver Queen. Everyone knows Oliver Queen as Arrow, so he's going to put on a new costume as Green Arrow. So he's out to save his city, and he's not going to fail his city, even though he has plenty times. But also, Flash has got a new costume as well, a lot more brighter to fit in the sunshine and lollipops of the Flash TV show. I can't wait for that to come back. Heroes of Tomorrow as well. That's coming pretty soon. So yeah, man, the Arrow universe. Also, Diggle's got a new costume. I haven't really seen it properly, but it looks pretty awesome. Diggle is out there as a superhero. I think Oliver Queen, he said that all of the people's got a superhero. All of his team members has got super. Their class as superheroes now, I guess, even though none of them's got superpowers. Also, I think Thea's got a new costume as well. I guess she's going to take on the mantle of Speedy, even though Red Arrow, Ray Harper, he sort of left. So that's a shame. I want him to come back. He should come back as Arsenal. Or Red Arrow. That would be pretty awesome. So yeah, man, the Arrow universe, the CW, DC Comics or DC Media, DC Entertainment, CW universe is back. It's coming back for another rump of action and fun. So yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, man. I saw the costumes for Arrow and Flash. It looked pretty nice, man. Green Arrow, he looks really mean in that suit. What do you mean? With Flash, has a nice lighter tone.
Also, I mean, they also confirmed that Jay Garrick he was the first Flash. He's coming to the Flash TV show. They sort of teased it in the Flash TV. Have you started watching that Flash?
No, I need to.
Yeah, they teased that he's part of the universe. Um, yeah. Also, Mr. Terrific. They casted Mr. Terrific. I guess he's joining. I think he's joining Arrow. So, yeah, man, Mr. Terrific is coming through. If you guys are a huge fan of Earth 2 comics, like I am, the Justice Society, it looks like they're actually building the Justice Society in the CW universe. I prefer that. Keep the DC universe as Justice Society and keep the movie universe as Justice League. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and speaking of right, I had an
Because they got like the Vixen. Did you see the Vixen trailer?
yeah.
Yeah, the Vixen. The cartoon is set in the same universe, but it's just a cartoon version. I don't know if they're gonna cast the person who's gonna play her, but she's still gonna be part of the universe. They might just put little Easter eggs in there, in both cities or both TV shows. So it's really, really expanding the CW universe of DC, and also the Stephen Amell. He was, that guy is great, man. He's that person where he would just take the vanguard for everything in social media. He's got a huge presence in the social media. In all of his interviews and appearances. He was supposed to fight someone in WWE, so he was part of the people who were saying they should save Constantine. He was like hashtagging save Constantine and everything and making memes of Constantine. So now he's come out and said that there might be a possibility that Matt Ryan might reprise his role as Constantine, but make an appearance in the Arrow universe. So I guess a lot of fans were really excited about that. I know I am. I'm super stoked for that, to see Constantine as part of that universe. So they should definitely ship that over. It's just unfortunate that NBC, I think they're trying to ship it around to other studios.
Put it on Netflix. Put it on Netflix.
Yeah, but CW doesn't really have as much viewers as NBC. So NBC, I mean, if one CW show has the same views or the same people who watches it as same people that watch it, CW would be a lot bigger production company. So they have to work something out. But I seriously hope that they get him over to the Arrow universe.
Yeah, for real. That show's sick, man. It should have never been cancelled. I loved it. Should just put it somewhere else, stuck it on Netflix, did something, man. Or at least show the remaining, episodes and then cancelled it, because you never knew what was gonna happen, man. So that show got left in limbo. All the what if questions were coming out. But going back to the Flash, so if you don't know, now you do know. So WWE Adam Edge Copeland has been cast as Atom Smasher on the Flash season 2. So I'm talking about Edge from the WWE universe. Wrestling has been casted as the Atom Smasher on the Flash season 2.
Yep.
So that's something to look out for. But yeah, I think that's all for the TV shows and trailers and so forth. So it looks like we're gonna go into.
I think we covered most of the stuff we wanted to talk about in San Diego Comic Con. There's a few little bits that we've obviously missed out, but I'm sure we'll catch up to it and we'll talk about it briefly in our future shows. But I haven't got a lot of time, so we want to get through Ant-Man.
And the smallest character makes the biggest noise in the Marvel Universe. This is a movie that went through. It lost cast members, producers, it lost everything, and everyone was saying that the movie was going to be a catastrophe, that it wasn't going to do well. So we watched it, and I actually enjoyed it. It was a very, very humorous movie. Because obviously this is a spoiler-free review, but when you start watching the movie, it gives you, you get the backstory for also, for Hank Pym, and you get the obviously the backstory for Scott Lang. So everyone all the Marvel fans that are moaning like, oh, Hank Pym is the Ant-Man, what they're doing. All of that gets addressed, and I like how they put that in at the beginning of the movie, so you kind of know where the movie was going, where the movie was heading to. But it was a very humorous movie, man. I think all the cast members had a big role in the movie, and you wasn't watching it just for Michael Douglas or Paul Rudd. You was actually watching it for all the other for me, all the other cast members like Virginia Lilly, Corey Stoll, who plays Darren Cross, and that girl, I found it. That's it. Abby Ryder Forston, that plays Cassie Young, that plays Scott Lang's daughter. She is one freakish girl in that show, so in that movie. When you see her, you'll be like, ugh. So, yeah, for me, it was put well together. There was humor, there was a lot of humor. The action scenes were cool. The CGI was nice, but I think what the difference with this movie was, what I liked about it, there was more acting than CGI. So, you saw more people actually talking, acting than special effects. And when it came to the special effects, you saw them for a bit. So I liked it. It was done differently, but overall, man, I enjoyed it. I know I was on Twitter, see what people were saying. A lot of people were saying it's an amazing movie, it's fantastic. People were actually saying they were going to watch it for a second time, a second time. I wouldn't mind watching it for a second time because it reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy, but it was very humorous. But it was a movie that was well put together, and I like Scott Lang, Paul Rudd in it, because for me he was just like a relaxed, chill back superhero that just took it as it was. Michael Douglas's performance was cool. Michael Douglas is a big actor in the game, so he played a very, very, very serious Hank Pym, which was very cool. Virginia Lilly, who plays obviously Lang's daughter in there. Sorry, plays Hank Pym's daughter as Hope. She plays a very good. I like her character, her persona. It's very, very, very harsh, but very, very caring at the same time. And of course, where is he? Where's my guy? Corey Stoll, who plays Darren Cross as Yellow Jacket. Like, he was pretty much, I'd just call him the Marvel Lex Luthor, because he was just raw. Like, he was just a very, very evilish dude. Very demanding, didn't care, was ruthless. Pretty cool character, pretty cool actor. Who else? I'm trying to find the the Spanish-looking guy. Forgot his name. Is it Lewis? Was that his name in the movie?
Yeah, Luis. He's played by Michael Pena. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
He stole the show, man.
Yeah, he was hilarious, man. He was hilarious. Like he was funny, man. His persona, his character was just funny. Just looking at him made me laugh. Overall, man, it was a very, very well done movie. I know, like, its opening day, it hasn't done well, and that's because, one, obviously you have a lot of people jumped off, a lot of actors and a lot of producers and writers just bailed ship and jumped ship from Ant-Man. But also, I think for me, one of the reasons that as a movie, not a lot of people would go to watch it is because it's Ant-Man. So if you don't know who Ant-Man is, then you wouldn't go to watch it. He's not like a mainstream character like Iron Man or Hulk or Thor, Captain America. You know, where you kind of know what they do and what who they are. You know, Ant-Man's one of those characters. He's like, you know, he's like Doctor Strange. He's like Black Panther. You know, if you don't, or someone like Blade, if you don't read about them in the comic book because you don't know who they are, then you are not really gonna go and watch it unless you know you be like, cool. But again, what I like about this and what I like about Marvel is they take chances. So to do this movie is a big risk. So for them to do this movie, they had to have a big reason why they done it, and I'm sure that news will come out soon because a lot of people probably asking, out of all the characters you guys could have put into Phase 2, why Ant-Man? You know, so. But yeah, man, what can I say? I did enjoy the movie. It was a very, very well done movie, and I do recommend it to people out there to watch. It has a different tone, a different vibe. And what I liked about it, again, I'll say it again, it had more acting than anything else than special effects. And I like I like the surprises you saw like in the movie, like when you have a certain cameo from a certain character, and certain characters in the Marvel universe that we all know and have seen in previous movies make their appearances into this movie. I'm like, oh, cool. So I liked it, and because when I went to see this movie, I avoided all the trailers apart from the first and second trailer. I didn't read anything about it. No spoilers. No who's making this appearance apart from one, which got spoiled for me. But apart from that, I went in there with a blank mind, and I totally enjoyed the movie, man. I'm looking forward to when they hopefully will do an Ant-Man 2. But when you watch this movie, you're watching it for all the characters and cast. They all work together in the sense you don't watch it for Ant-Man, you don't watch it for Hank Pym. Every character in this movie had the equal amount of airtime. Even T.I., who plays Dave, and you have David. That's Malachon. I can't pronounce his surname, but he plays Kurt in the movie. But they all have an equal amount of time. It was amazing to see that. So for me, man, I give it a thumbs up, and I recommend it to people out there. And please, when you watch a movie, if you're not a Marvel fan, please make sure you guys stay and watch the cutscenes. So that's me for Ant-Man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I did mention a little bit. Michael Pena and Scott Lang's daughter Cassie. I don't know who the actress is, but both of them stole the show for me.
It's her name is Abby Ryder Fortson. She plays Cassie Young. Yeah, but she was freakish.
She was hilarious, man. She's a little girl. She was so weird.
Yeah.
That she was adorable. She was hilarious, and she was just like. She pretty much stole the show for me. Her and Michael Pena. Michael Pena, I guess, I've seen him in other films. Where have I seen that? I saw him in End of Watch. That was another David Ayer film. He was quite serious in that, but he was also funny in that movie. But in this one, he's playing a totally comedic character, and he knocked it out of the park. And for me, he stole the show. I liked Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas was pretty good. I also liked Evangeline Lilly and Paul Rudd. I think Paul Rudd done a good job. Even though he's kind of like done a lot of comedy roles, but he was playing a more of a straight character on this, Scott Lang, and I could feel like he was holding back some of his comedic in some of the scenes, and he was sort of holding back his background or his experience as a comedic actor. And I think he done a very good job in trying to keep Scott straight and narrow, and Scott had sort of responsibilities to take care of, and he quite heartfelt character, and in that way, I guess Paul Rudd done a good job in doing that, in keeping him keeping him as that sort of straight and narrow with a lot of heart, but still very funny. Like again, regards to what's his name, Darren Cross. I guess Marvels have this problem. The Marvel movies, they have this problem. The only villain that everyone likes is Loki. Now, Darren Cross, to me, it felt like you know, it's just one of those villains where, all right, I'm going to be bad because of reasons, you know, and people were just like, okay, you know, and they killed him off, you know, again, you know. So here's me hoping for, what's his name, Ronan the Accuser to come back from Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Probably
I'm
will.
really hoping for him to come back because Marvel's got this problem with killing off all their villains except for Loki. But you know,
But are they dead? What if, you know?
yeah, I'm still waiting for Red Skull to come back. But anyway, carrying
Me
on
too.
the movie. Scott Lang's, I guess, lackeys or his sidekicks, Ti and Michael Pena and I forgot the other guy's name, but the Russian dude. I guess he was acting Russian, but the three of them together was just amazing. And this movie is definitely a heist film. First, they were trying to steal something, and then they were trying to steal something more. But they made a line in this movie where it's not just a heist film; it's also a superhero film. So that's also great to mix them both. And I think they've done a very good job in mixing the superhero element as well as a heist element to it. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed Ant-Man 2. I'm definitely watching it twice. I'm definitely going to watch it again. So yeah, man. Ant-Man 2. Read the comic as well. The comic is amazing by Nick Spencer.
Reboot. So renumbering, my bad.
Yeah, it's been renumbered for number 1, so definitely new reader friendly for you guys to just catch on or jump on. Or just get the trade when it comes out. Once the previous run. Just to get a nice introduction of Scott Lang.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my little thoughts on Ant-Man.
Yeah, man. Like I said, guys, it was a movie. It was a good movie that was put together. Yeah, Darren Cross as a villain, it wasn't really all that as a villain, but he had his moments where he did some very. There was one scene where he did a very epic scene, and you'd have to watch it to see what I mean. But I was like, ugh. So you saw a bit of evil in there. But yeah, Abby Ryder Frost, and that plays Cassie Lang. She did steal the show, man. She was amazing, man. She was funny. She was a bit freaky at the same time. That was raw. She's a girl evil. You know, she's possessed. It was just it was very she was very weird as a character. But overall, man, it was a good movie. It kind of it started off very intensely, and then it just kind of just went forward, and you just saw the more lighter side of things. But it's a very light-hearted movie. A very light-hearted movie that I recommend anyone to just watch, even if you're not a Marvel fan or you don't watch superhero movies, just to go and watch it, have fun, because it's actually just a very fun movie to just watch and take in. And the cutscenes I was like, yes, finally. So I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, because
guys.
But there is 2 cutscenes, so make sure you stay.
Yeah, guys, ants are awesome. They're probably like the best insect ever.
It's true though, because what they actually talk about, how they talk about ants in the movie is actually how it is in real life. So you kind of, yeah, man, ants are awesome. You kind of know how ants work, what they do, and it's just amazing, man, to see a person shrink at that size and totally have that much power. You know, but
you guys, I mean, you guys should watch it, man. We're giving like 2 thumbs up to watch it. It's definitely a Marvel film. It's not really making as much money as it like in the domestic box office this weekend. But definitely, you guys check it out. is definitely one of those Marvel films where really endearing, and it has that Guardians of the Galaxy feel where it's a standalone, not really tying into the whole universe, but it is part of what's coming up next in the Marvel universe. So I guess it because of the connections to what's going to happen next in the Marvel universe. You guys should even watch that because of it. Watch the movie because of it. Because the cutscenes at the end, yeah, we're not going to spoil too much of it, but definitely check it out, the Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, man, too, man. You know, as Agents of Shield slogan says, man, it's all connected. All the TV shows and the movies. So, um, you know, I wanted one of the reasons I wanted to watch it is to find out how this ties into to Marvel's next movie, which is, you know, obviously like Civil War, Doctor Strange, and so forth. So one of the reasons I wanted to watch it. But you know, I just love Marvel. You know, regardless of if Marvel movies flop or they don't, I always enjoy myself watching. I always enjoy watching Marvel movies because they're just fun to watch, regardless of, you know, it has the element of fun. So it's, you know, it's basically like you're reading a comic book. So just have fun, relax. Um, but yeah, man. Hopefully they will do an Ant-Man, an Ant-Man, an Ant-Man 2, man.
Yeah,
So
man. After the film finished, the first thing I said to you was, I wish they make a part two to it.
I reckon they will. Because when you do sign up to a Marvel movie, you're signing up for at least 5 movies, 3 to 5. So we all know that he's Paul Rudd is doing his cameo, or you know, sorry, cameo. Don't know yet how long he's gonna. Well, not cameo. He's actually been casted for Civil War. Um, so it's nice to see him in that movie. Also, where is she? Virginia Lilly. It's nice to see that she's been now casted into the Marvel universe and I'd like to see what she will do. You know, what she's gonna do next. So it's gonna be pretty amazing. Also, I know I'm saying this before, but I just want to say it. I just want to say it. Al Pacino, you know, a few months, was it 6 months ago, or even longer, was actually cast. He has actually been casted into the Marvel universe. So no one knows who he's gonna play, what role he's gonna play, what he's gonna do. But Al Pacino has been casted somewhere into the Marvel universe. I reckon he'll probably appear as a villain in maybe Doctor Strange. That's my theory, because he would kind of suit that tone. Yeah, man. Ant-Man people. The Easter eggs are nice. Tales to Astonish gets mentioned in there. So, yeah, man. I just personally, I just, like I'm saying again, man, go watch the movie. If the movie was terrible and rubbish, I will tell you it's not. Because everyone thought it was going to fail as a movie. And it may have not made money, but as a movie, for me, it was an awesome movie, man. Paul Rudd's jokes were pretty cool. His lines were cool. And like I said, one of the reasons I really loved this movie was there was more acting than anything else. You know, there's more acting than CGI. Then you see more Paul Rudd, I believe, than you see, I think, you see him in Ant-Man suit. So that's a different take that I like, because most of the movies you see nowadays, there's more CGI than acting. So, yeah, man. Watch it.
I must say, man, the Entertainment Weekly picture of X-Men Apocalypse looks amazing, man. With Apocalypse, Magneto, and Psylocke. I know you're not really a fan of how Thingy looks, Apocalypse, but he looks really good in that picture.
I just want to see what he looks like in his final form.
I think they picked someone perfect in Psylocke. I don't know who she is, who the actress is. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one.
Oh, me too. This was the Apocalypse.
But yeah, man, let's wrap up and say goodbye to this Sunday, sunny Sunday.
Watch it, people. Ant-Man, people. Go pick up an ant and get some popcorn and watch it. But yeah, man, I think that's pretty much us done. So,
Yeah,
Text.
it's been a long week. We're exhausted today. Sunday, sunny out, but I'm indoors taking a nap because I'm exhausted.
I'm gonna chill out and upload this podcast. So, like I said, people, catch us next week. Go watch Ant-Man because it's a movie and you have to watch it because it's new. Um, and
Also watch Terminator Genesis. I'm gonna watch that pretty soon.
I need to.
But
I need to watch that. I need to watch Mad Max. I need to watch Jurassic World.
oh yeah, you need to watch that. You definitely need to watch Jurassic World. Jurassic World is amazing.
So yeah, there's a lot of movies I seriously need to watch. So it's a lot for me to watch. So
All right, people.
all right, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
Stay safe. Bye. Take care.